Alright, well I'm gonna walk y'all through RECO's new Spec-Master configurator software. I'm Matt Moats. I'm a design engineer here and your go-to guy for any questions or comments you may have with this software. So we'll start by, this is the address you'll need to navigate to log in, and I'll have it posted in the comments of the video. You should have already gotten this notification from me and Tim with links in the email and whatnot. But anyway, you just come here, your username. I'm going to use dummy. It's my test dummy user to get started. Username and password. How this will work, when you contact me for access, I will set you up with your name, first and last, your email address, the company that you work for, whether it be an engineering firm or rep group or whatever, and your username will be your actual email address, and then I will set you up with a password, an initial password that you'll have to change upon your first login. So anyway, this is what you'll see when you first log in. I put a little message here for the guys and girls that are just getting started with this. But basically this is where you'll come. We'll have multiple products in here, all of our products eventually. Right now it's just the Vertical HX. But to create a new job, you'll come over here and click the Create New Configuration button. This is where the products will be lined up throughout here. I'm working right now on a horizontal HX. The layout's a lot different, so it's taking some time, but should be done in a few weeks. We're going to debut this at the ASPE show in Charlotte in October, so hope to see some of y'all there. Anyway, you'll click whatever product you want to configure, give it a job name. I just did demonstration test, so we'll just call this demonstration. Click continue, and you'll come to the first page. This is our terms of use page. To protect ourselves, we've got this to where you have to agree each time, and if you need to see the full text terms of use, you can click this button here. It'll pop up in another window, and of course you can read through this. Anyway, agree and continue, and this page is where you'll begin to put your constraints in and start the design of your new unit. So for the HX, we sometimes build multiple units for people depending on demand and how they're set up, but anyway, I'm sure y'all know that. But you can do multiple units here, 1, 2, 3, 7, and then your percentage of redundancy here, and that'll be used in the calculation and then the sizing of your units. Here you've got steam or liquid as far as your heating medium, 2 or 3 way. We've set this up to where you pretty much can't go wrong. For steam, you're only allowed to have 2 way. For liquid, you have 2 options, 2 and 3 way, as well as a picture change to the right, where when 3 way is selected, you get a 3 way picture. So we'll go back to steam. It'll automatically go back to 2 way. For your control system type, you can select electric, pneumatic, self-contained, or none. If you do not want us to supply that, you can of course select none. And again, the picture change you'll see on the right here, for pneumatic, for self-contained, back to electric. Here you can select what relief sizing code you prefer. Pretty straightforward. So we'll continue here. This is the page you'll set up your tube bundle, single or double wall. Again, we have automatic changes here that kind of picks things for you, whereas single wall you have choices. For double wall you do not. And we do this throughout the program to drive you to select the right thing, or to disallow you from selecting the wrong thing. I'm going to leave this as is. Again, 2-pass is the only option you have for steam. Of course, we select steam earlier. If you select liquid, you'll have 2, 4, and 6-pass options there. So we'll continue. This is where you'll start the nitty-gritty constraints for your unit. So we'll say 50 GPM. For these, whenever selections pop up at the bottom here, you'll either have to click to accept it, or you can just hit enter and it'll also select it and keep it. If you don't do that, it'll drop it out and the page will not let you continue. So we'll leave it 40 to 140. Shell side, or the shell design pressure, you can pick. Fouling factor is important. This will affect the size of your unit and will also affect the ability of the unit to meet demand. So I urge you to use the correct fouling factor, if any, here. Shell material you can also choose. So we'll move on to the tube side inputs. Supply pressure for steam will do 15 psi. If you see here, this is not one of the drop down boxes, so you can just type 15 in it and move on. Pressure drop, I've got you a little rule of thumb here. So for 15, I'm going to choose 8 psi for the pressure drop. And again, I didn't use a fouling factor here because this is not an actual job. So I've got messages that pop up. There will be messages throughout the program that drive you one way or the other. Sometimes they're error messages, sometimes they're just warnings, and sometimes they're just messages like this that are just giving you an idea of what the program's doing, so that you're not just sitting there thinking nothing's happening. Here you can select your options, status light, seismic. You can choose the seismic code, limit system, vacuums, all this stuff, some of your BMS controls and relays. So I'm not going to choose anything here. You can click continue here. As the message before said, our in-house sizing program is calculating the size of the unit and sizing the pipes, the shell, the bundle, all of that. And all the heat transfer calculations are going on in the background. This usually takes 15 or so seconds. So here is where you can review. So this will give you the size of your unit. This is a HX vertical. HXV is vertical. It's 150 psi design. It's a 10 by 24 bundle. And then this kind of gives us an idea of what kind of controls we've got. So 50 GPM recovery, the bundle size is 10 by 24, control systems electric, the valve size is going to be 2.5, the trap size is going to be 1.5, and the relief valve size is going to be 1 inch. And all of this is here for your review. If something just jumps out as that can't be right, you can always go back and review your stuff. And by hovering over these, you can see the inputs that you have input. So we'll continue one more time, and this is where you're ready for configuration. So I'm going to click configure design, and this is where all of the background modeling and drawing and spec generation goes on. So click configure. Now everything on our servers is working. configuration is now being built. In a few minutes you'll have an opportunity to review your stuff. Here, you can click Notify Me. If you click Notify Me here, like I just did, our program will send you an email when it's done, so you're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. It's a really nice, some really nice functionality. You can go on about your business, so you don't feel like you're just watching it. Typically, the run times we're seeing is 5 to 7 minutes on this, but if you're just sitting there watching the screen, it can seem like much longer. So anyway, now I'm going to show you what's going on in the background. Alright guys, I'm going to show y'all what's going on in the background. So this is actually a remote desktop connection to our server. This is where Inventor will run. So basically I just built the demonstration unit that we walked through together, and this is what happens right after you click configure. So right now the Spec-Master software is sending all the information to the server. This model is already opened and it's reading all of your constraints. It'll begin building in just a second. So this is what's going on in the background when you're waiting for those 5, 6, 7 minutes for your outputs. And again, later I'll show you what everything looks like on the results page. So now it begins doing its thing. You'll see it begin to resize, and sometimes the bundle will lengthen, the jacket will get bigger, whatever's required. So you can see it's placing parts now, and this is what makes this product so cool, and the fact that every single design is custom. This is not a library full of drawings. This is not just one model that gets updated. This is a custom model every single time based on your constraints, and this is something that nobody in our industry is doing. This is something we're very, very proud of. So you'll see this part of the process doesn't take very long. But what we need this model for, this model is created, a three-dimensional model is created, and then views are taken off of this model and a drawing is made. So it's a very detailed drawing. It's a perfectly scaled drawing. Everything's just right because of the 3D model. The 3D model also allows us to give you more functionality in your business with the actual Inventor models, or we have the ability to create Revit models, which is something that we're seeing a big surge in our business with. So anyway, this model's done. It's gonna turn off all these planes, and then it's going to pass the views to the drawing, and you'll see it open up in just a second. Alright, so now we've got our drawings getting started. It's going to place 3 views, pretty much a front, a top, and a side view. This is a very, very memory intense operation to automate. So this is where the majority of the time that it takes to get your results is eaten up. It's going to place 3 views. It's going to scale them to where they fit on the page. And once that calculation, that process is done, the dimensions and callouts and all that will be placed. So it's probably pretty hard to see on this screen, just because, again, this is a remote desktop connection, but this is your field connection list, and I'll go through this again in the results page. But all of this text is live. So based on the inputs and based on the sizing calculations, this is automatically populated. You can also see down here you got this is a 10-inch unit. It's a Vertical HX, and right below it you've got a model number. So this is something we use in-house. That just tells us what the unit is. Again, this text down here is live. Depending on your inputs, these will change for shell design pressure and tube side design pressure. Anyway, that's really about it here until it starts to place the dimensions, which it's about to do, it looks like. Yep, here we go. So everything's been scaled, center line's placed. These are your callouts, and all of these letters are what you'll find up here in the field connection list. So that process should be complete, and we'll move on to dimensions. There we go. So again, these dimensions, nothing is calculated. This is actually measuring from one surface to another. And I've got it built in to where once the dimensions are placed, everything is placed in the center. So it's a very clean looking drawing when you get done. So it's going to go view by view. So this view gets dimension first, then I think the top view, and then the side view. There we go. So we're seeing some dimensions on the top view. Alright, that one's completed. It's going to move to the side view. And again, if there's anything you see in this video or while working in the software that you don't like, or something that you would like to see added, please let me know. We want y'all to be happy with this. We want this to be a good addition to what y'all do in your day-to-day stuff. But basically this will act as your submittal print. And this is something that you're going to get in 5 minutes. You know, it's not something you're going to have to schedule time for us to, have engineering time. This is making you a little more self-sufficient with very little input, and the time savings is extreme. So something I'm very proud of. So this is passing a PDF to your results page. Now it opens up the spec sheet. Again, all of this text is also live. This updates based on, again, the calculations and inputs. You can read here. This is all correct. We input 15 psi. This is calculated. It's how many pounds per hour of steam is required. 40 to 140. We told it that. We've got some stuff in here to kind of give you an idea why it is sized the way it is. There's industry standards, and we also have our own standards that we follow for safety or for just a better design. But anyway, so here, furnish and install 1 factory package RECO HX. Gives you the model number, tells you what everything's made out of, and down here you'll get, control valve is this size, main trap is this size, your drip trap's this size, and everything's spelled out. Boom, boom, boom. Down here the empty bullets those are for your other options that you can select. We didn't select any, so they're not here. The standard leg supports. This would be replaced with whatever seismic code you selected, if you select any. Of course we didn't, we just did standard. But this is a great, quick spec sheet to outline how the unit's going to be built. So now we're going to go over to the results page and show you what you're going to see when everything's said and done. Alright, now I'm going to show y'all what what you're going to get when everything's said and done. So if you remember, we clicked the notify me button. So whatever email you provided me with to set you up a user is where the email will be sent. So likely your work email. But this is what you'll get. This is my personal Gmail account that the test dummy user is set up on. And this is what you'll see when it's completed. So it'll say, do not reply to this, but your configuration is completed and ready for your review. And you can click this link down here to get there. I've already got it. Well, I'm going to show you how to get in the back door, but if you want to go straight there, you can click here, log in, and it'll take you straight to your completed configuration. So we'll close that. Another thing, the functionality here is my configurations you can click on. I've only done a couple with this user, but you'll see demonstration is the one we created. It was this morning at 8:50. So you have promote, edit, results, and delete. Now I've got delete grayed out for you guys. If you end up with a bunch of configurations you want to get rid of, all you gotta do is let me know and we can purge that stuff just to kind of organize it for y'all a little bit better. But we want to keep them here so that you're able to reference stuff in the future. But if you would like to see that changed, let me know and we'll see what we can do. But if you click edit, you can go back and edit your configuration. If you miss something on the review page, say you accidentally set it up as electric, you can click edit, change it to self-contained, go through, configure it again. The model's going to build again. It's going to get you new drawings and a new spec, and you can see that here in the results page. So we'll go here, click results, and if you hit this, all you have to do is hover over these, and you can see maximum width is exceeded. So if you hover over, zoom out, it'll zoom out a little bit. But it gives you a 3D image. This is another quick visual check. You see you've got a electric actuator here, and you were like, wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be pneumatic. You may see that right off, and all you have to do is come up here and you can click edit, go back, change whatever you need to change, and boom. So what we'll do first, you get a PDF drawing, you get a downloadable DWG, so it's something you can actually pull the scaled drawing out of a DWG and put it in your plans or whatever you need it for. So that's available. You have a specification. Of course, we're viewing the 3D image now. The brochure that we have, that I'm sure y'all have copies of, is here in PDF form. This O&M manual is just a generic O&M manual that we've got uploaded. We've got warranty information, and then the piping schematics are also these are live links. So this is a single heater, so the single heater piping comes up in both DWG and PDF format. If we selected multiple heaters, those drawings would pop up here. You'd be able to print those out. So anyway, pretty much any configuration you're going to have, the correct piping schematic will be here. And again, if something doesn't show up correctly, you get an error on this screen, the first thing I would try is to click this rebuild configuration. If you still have an issue, please let me know as soon as possible so we can get it ironed out. you shouldn't see any issues, but I'm not going to say that you're not. This is new to us, and we're learning together a little bit. So it's been tested pretty extensively. We haven't seen anything in a long time, so you shouldn't see any problems. But again, you can rebuild it here. So we'll start with the drawing. So PDF format, and it takes it a second to download. But there you go. I don't know why the view is blue there. There we go. But again, this is your drawing. You can print this out from here. Let's see, we'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see your dimensions are nice and clean and crisp. Everything is, like I said before, measured from one surface to another, so it's correct. This gives you something that you can, give to your plumbing guys. They can stub out stuff. If you ask me, it's pretty slick. Here you can see this is a serial number at the bottom of the page. We'll zoom in a little more. There it is. This is something we use to track jobs in our software. You'll see this number here as well. Of course, you can see the job name and the product. We'll go back to the drawing real quick. Gives you a date when it was drawn. Gives you the rev number. Now, the rev number, if you click this rebuild configuration, that rev number is going to go back to 2, and so and so on and on and on and on. So anytime you make an edit, that rev number is going to change, and that's built on that's based on the model build rev. So anyway, it'll keep up with that for you. Other than that, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Field connection list up here gives you the connection size and type, and the callouts are here. So H is your panel box, C is your steam inlet. Again, this is a steam unit, so it's a steam inlet. That text will change depending on what your heating medium is. B is your hot water outlet. I mean, it's pretty slick. So we'll take a look at the spec sheet now. I'm working with 2 screens, so I had to pull this stuff over. But anyway, I kind of explained this in the other earlier, but same deal. Everything is outlined word for word with live text. If you would like to see more in this, let me know. We can certainly get that in there. If you'd like to see it formatted a little different, also let me know. We'll see what we can do. Again, down here the rev number will change with the drawing, so everything's tied together. There's your serial number, model number, everything you need to know is right here. So you can print those. You can use the DWG. If you click this, you can download it, save it, and open it in AutoCAD. Use it in your plan drawings. Show you the piping schematic. I know it's sideways, sorry about that. But anyway, everything you need right here at your fingertips in just a few minutes, which is pretty awesome. So let me know what you think. Contact me anytime directly. I'll put my email and direct phone number in the comments of the video. If you have any issues, let me know as soon as possible. If you'd like to see something updated, descriptions, anything, just let me know. It's no problem. Other than that, I think that's about it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your business, and have a great day.